Well, hello there everyone. Welcome along and thank you very much for joining us. My name is Chris Bryant, and with World Cup fever sweeping across the globe, I'm absolutely thrilled to be here to bring you live coverage of the final warm-up match for both Belgium and Tunisia, who lock horns in Brussels this afternoon before heading out to North America. The big kickoff in the USA, Mexico and Canada is just 5 days away now. 48 teams, 104 games. It's really shaping up to be a feast of football for the ages this summer. Belgium, they were semi-finalists back in 2018, of course, but then failed to make it out of the group in Qatar 4 years ago. Pretty unacceptable outcome for such a talented group of players. Saying that, though, expectations are probably a little bit lower these days, with most of the so-called golden generation having now retired. Their qualification campaign to get to this tournament was solid, if unspectacular. Their unbeaten record perhaps tarnished just a little bit by 2 draws against North Macedonia and 1 against Kazakhstan. They did rattle in 29 goals across the 8 games though, which I suppose shows that their strength at the moment is in attacking areas. Kevin De Bruyne is still there as the leading man, with a strong supporting cast led by Jeremy Doku, who of course was in such fine form for Manchester City towards the end of the season. The Red Devils boss, Rudy Garcia, has put together a 12-game unbeaten run, and they come into this one on the back of an encouraging 2-0 win in Croatia on Tuesday night. The smart money is certainly on a perfect send-off on home soil this afternoon for Belgium before they tackle Egypt, Iran and New Zealand over the coming weeks. Tunisia, of course, well, they'll have other ideas. And they absolutely breezed through the African World Cup qualifying section, winning 9 of their 10 games and drawing the other. The level of competition wasn't always up to much, admittedly, but the really eye-catching thing about their qualification campaign was the fact that they didn't even concede a single goal. They're actually the first team in the world ever to achieve that feat, although saying that, Ivory Coast did then go and match it 24 hours later. A bit more recently, Tunisia reached the last 16 of the Africa Cup of Nations. They were absolutely devastated to then lose to a 10-man Mali side on penalties. That disappointment ultimately cost Sami Trabelsi his job. And his successor, Sabri Lamouchi, has largely turned to youth as he looks to steer the Eagles of Carthage into the World Cup knockout rounds for the first time ever in their 7th appearance at the tournament. Well, the players are out on the pitch. The national anthems are underway. So while we wait for kickoff, let's just have a little look at the team news, shall we? And let's start with Belgium. They make 4 changes from that game against Croatia on Tuesday, with Thomas Meunier, Timothy Castagne, Brandon Mekele and Leandro Trossard coming in for Alexis Sailormakers, Maxim de Kauper, Arthur Theat and Nicolas Raskin. Zeno Debast is the only man not involved in the squad today as he continues to manage a hamstring issue. Let's have a look at the Belgium starting lineup then. Having played with a back 3 against Croatia, they now revert to the more familiar back 4. Thibaut Courtois in goal, back 4 of Meunier, Mekele, Nathan Ngoy and Castagne. In midfield, it's the captain Yuri Tielemans and his Aston Villa teammate Amadou Onana. And then Kevin De Bruyne in front of them, flanked by Trossard, we think, on the right-hand side, and Doku on the left, with Charles de Kettelere leading the line. As for Tunisia, well, they make 6 changes to the team that lost 1-0 in Austria on Monday. Ali Abdi, Jan Valeri, Rani Khedira, Hannibal Mejbri, Anis Ben Slimane and Firas Shawa all drop out, with Adam Erous, Mohamed Amin Belhamida, Mohamed Belhaj Mahmoud, Elias Achuri, Khalil Ayari and Hazem Mastouri all coming in. Their starting lineup is as follows. In goal, it's Abdel Muhib Chamak. We're expecting a back 4 from Tunisia as well, with Ben Hamida on the right, Montassar Talbi and Omar Rekik in the middle, and Arous on the left. In midfield, it's the captain, Elias Skiri, alongside Belhaj Mahmoud. And then 3 in behind the striker, Hazem Masturi, are Ayari on the right, Achuri in the middle, and then on the left-hand side, Ismail Garbi. Our officials this afternoon, they're all from Greece, led by referee Tassos Sidiropoulos, who will be supported by his assistants Polychronis Kostaras and Lazaros Dimitriadis, as well as the 4th official, Ioannis Papadopoulos. Angelos Evangelou is on VAR duty. He'll be backed up by Athanasios Silos. So we're almost ready to roll now at the King Baudouin Stadium in Brussels. And it's all about Belgium, really, isn't it, this afternoon? Rated as 33-1 shots to go all the way and win that elusive first trophy in international football. As I say, they're certainly not the team of old. Many of the golden generation having since retired, but certainly got plenty of quality in their ranks going forward. It's just that question mark defensively over them. It's going to hang over them as they head to USA, Mexico and Canada. The ball has been delivered onto the pitch now, coming on via a remote controlled car. This is the sort of thing that we see at this time of year, isn't it, in these international tournament summers. There's Rudy Garcia now, looking resplendent in a navy suit with his red tie. Just takes his place in his technical area. Looks as though it's going to be Belgium who get us underway. And Sabri Lamouchi just takes his seat in the visiting dugout. And the referee now just going through some final checks. Tassos Sidiropoulos just waiting to make sure everything's ready. And Belgium, looks as though from this kickoff it's going to be struck down the right-hand side. They've got 4 players lining up on the halfway line to the right of the ball. And here we go now. And of course, as I say that, De Bruyne plays a pass to the left-hand side. And it's Doku up towards the edge of the penalty area. Tries to play a pass inside. That's cut out. It's come back to Doku, who spins down to the byline. Low cross. And there's going to be a chance here, is there, for Meunier? Oh, and the shot's blocked. But Belgium right on the front foot from the outset there. Thomas Meunier just popping up, as he has done so often in the past, from that right-back berth in an advanced position. Just stabbing a shot towards goal that was blocked there by Adam Arous. But 30 seconds in, Belgium have a corner. De Bruyne takes it short to Doku. Doku into the area, cuts it back here to the edge of the box. The shot comes in from Trossard. Oh, good save from Chamakh, diving low down to his right-hand side. Well, Leandro Trossard almost back with a bang there, the Arsenal man. Fresh from winning the Premier League, of course, with the Gunners. He just cut inside onto his left foot and fits the low shot from just outside the penalty area that Chamakh did well to just palm away with 2 hands. Trossard only joined up with the squad on Thursday, having given a bit of extra time after the Gunners' exertions in the Champions League final. He almost got himself on the score sheet immediately there, the 31-year-old. Never actually got a goal in a tournament, Leandro Trossard, despite 7 previous appearances at World Cups and European Championships. He'll be looking to put that right in the coming weeks. As De Bruyne fizzes in the corner now. That's too long for everyone. Is it going to be kept alive here over on the far side? I think it is just about. It's played back by Trossard now to Ngoy, who's dispossessed well. And then Garbi tries to find a pass over to the right-hand side, which he does. It's gathered in nicely by Ayari. Ayari goes down under a challenge there from Timothy Castagna and wins a free kick for Tunisia. They've taken it quickly. They've been forced back here, all the way back to Talbi, and he in turn plays it back to Chamakh, the goalkeeper. He just passes it to his left to Omar Rekik. Rekik now playing it back to the goalkeeper again. It's played to his right this time to Talbi, the Lorient centre-half. Tunisia just looking to slow it down after just being a bit caught cold, I think, by that early Belgium start. As Chamakh goes long down the left-hand side. Meunier wins the header, nodded down, And collected in midfield nicely there by Garbi, who manages to keep the ball in play and has to pass it back to Chamakh, but the main thing for Tunisia is that they retain possession. Little layoff in midfield by Skiri there, back to Talbi. And now here's Omar Rekik. Back to Talbi. Talbi playing a pass to his right that's sold Ben Hamida short. Doku looking to take him on, but Ben Hamida recovering well with an excellent challenge. And then he plays it long down the right-hand side, asking Ayari to chase, but that's too long for him, and Thibaut Courtois can just gather the ball in and quickly roll it out to Nathan Ngoy, who plays it to his left to Mekele. And now here's Ngoy once more. First touch here for Yuri Tielemans. Finds Meunier just inside the Tunisia half on the right-hand side. He gives it back to Tielemans, who then switches the point of attack to the left-hand side with Mekele. And now Doku, 5 yards inside the Tunisia half. Tight to the touchline. Checks inside onto the right foot. Lays it back to Ngoy in the centre circle. Ngoy striding forward now. Plays a little pass to his right to Tielemans. Tielemans moves it on to Meunier. Meunier quickly confronted by a couple of Tunisia players, but fouled according to the referee, possibly by Ismail Garbi there. And so Belgium have themselves a free kick. Probably 2 or 3 yards in from the right touchline. It's midway inside the Tunisian half. Thomas Meunier has already given plenty of indication, hasn't he, in the opening 4.5 minutes or so, that he's going to be pushing on from that right-back berth. Does have 10 goals for Belgium, does Thomas Meunier, winning his 80th cap this afternoon. That's De Bruyne now. Swings in the free kick, right-footed. Decent ball from De Bruyne. That's headed away. And it's Talbi who got there first for Tunisia. I think he's headed it behind, though. And it's going to be another corner here to Belgium. They've made a pretty bright start here in front of their adoring public. De Bruyne takes this latest one short. Gets it back from Trossard. De Bruyne's cross. It's blocked this time by Adem Arouz. And it's going to be another corner to the Red Devils. De Bruyne comes across to take it once again. Will they go short again? Yes, they will. It's Trossard now. Trossard thinks about the cross. Lays it back to De Bruyne, who plays a nice little one-touch pass to Doku. Good defending by Tunisia this time, though, but the clearance has only gone as far as De Bruyne. De Bruyne losing out in a challenge in midfield there against Ayari, who's battling away hard for his team. Eventually the ball just deflects back to Chamakh. And Rekik now moving it on to Ben Hamida. Little pass inside from Garbi. Here's Rekik now. Plays it across the front of his penalty box to Talbi. Gets it back from his central defensive partner. And now it's back with Ben Hamida, who's operating on the left-hand side in these early stages. As Talbi now sweeps a long raking pass over to the right-hand side. Ooh, chested down really nicely over there by Ayari, who's then felled by Yuri Tielemans. Is he going to win the free kick? Yes, he is. Referee penalising the Belgium skipper there. That was a lovely little piece of control by Khalil Ayari. He's a really interesting addition to this Tunisia squad, only making his 4th appearance for the national team today. He's spent the season on loan at PSG from Stade Tunisien. And he played for the under-23 team for PSG, but is joining the club permanently when the transfer window opens. As in goes the free kick now from Tunisia. It's found its way here to Achuri. Curls one in right-footed towards the back post. Headed down. There's going to be a chance here for Talbi. Oh, and he's flashed it over the crossbar. He holds his head in his hands, the big centre-half. He knows that was a really good opportunity for Tunisia to take the lead here. It was a teasing cross in from Achuri towards the back post. It was nodded down, and the ball just fell kindly to Talbi. Perhaps just couldn't quite get his body over it as it was bouncing up, and just skied the volley over the crossbar. So a little bit of a scare there for Belgium. Tunisia showing that they're not going to be pushovers this afternoon. As the ball comes to De Ketelaere, just inside the Tunisia half. Lays it off, and now it's with Onana. Here's Tielemans inside the centre circle. just inside the Tunisia half. And now it's Doku who gathers wide on the left-hand side. Just plays a little pass into the penalty area. Good feet shown there, and it's going to come to De Bruyne! Oh, just flashes past the right-hand post. I think it's got a little deflection on the way through. He wasn't far away there, Kevin De Bruyne. It was good play initially down the left-hand side by Doku, who just stood his man up, fizzed in a low left-footed cross that was gathered in really nicely there by Castagna, who had come forward from left-back. And his little layoff back to De Bruyne was a decent one, but De Bruyne couldn't quite get the right connection on the shot he wanted, and there was no deflection either, according to the referee. So Tunisia get the game back underway with a goal kick, which has quickly come back into their half. Trossard finds De Bruyne, who in turn moves it on to De Ketelaere, into the penalty area now. Rolls it to the edge of the box to Doku. Doku's pass into the box is cut out, but he's won it back, Jeremy Doku. Almost running into the referee, finding a pass out to the right, back to De Ketelaere. On the edge of the penalty area, right-footed cross. That's headed away temporarily by Skiri. Nodded down by Mastouri. In a bit of trouble there is Achuri. He's gone down. Referee plays on. De Bruyne quickly met by Belhaj Mahmoud. And then the ball just spoons up into the air. And Chamakh is able to come out and just take the sting out of that Belgium attack altogether as he catches the ball right on the edge of his penalty area. And now decides to volley it clear from the hand, all the way up to Castagna, who nods it away. It's been picked up here by Mahmoud, though, for Tunisia. He lays it back to Arous. And now here's Rekik. He's found Ben Hamida. Little layoff from Achuri back to Ben Hamida. And now here's Rekik. Plays it to his right to Talbi. And Talbi now just taking some time. Finding Rekik again. Now there's a pass up the left-hand side to Achuri. He's dispossessed though. Onana snapping in to win a tackle for Belgium, but Tunisia happy to take the throw in here as Ben Hamida edges up to the halfway line, throws it long to Mastouri, who can't bring it under control. Meunier wins it back for Belgium. And then Tielemans just laying it back to Castagna. Now here's Brandon Mekele. Plays it into midfield to Onana. Onana with a cute little pass up to De Ketelaere, who finds Meunier wide on the right-hand side. Good pass inside from Meunier to Trossard, who sweeps the long pass over from right to left. That's well cut out over there, but the ball's going to come back here to Belgium, and they've got themselves a free kick now as well. It was Castagna who gathered the loose ball in and skipped inside a challenge from Mahmoud, who just left a trailing leg in and caught Timothy Castagna on his right foot. The Fulham man going down there, seemingly in a little bit of pain. But it's a free kick to Belgium, and it's in a pretty decent position, it has to be said. Kevin De Bruyne is lining it up. It's left of centre, probably about 25 yards out. Certainly within shooting range for Kevin De Bruyne, who's the undoubted star man in the qualification campaign for Belgium. 6 goals in 6 appearances for him, as he now lines this one up. Here comes De Bruyne, shoots! Good save by Chamakh. Oh, and the rebound almost fell invitingly for Belgium there, but they've kept the ball alive with Meunier anyway. And Goy plays it back to Castagna, who collects inside the centre circle, just inside his own half. Trossard now, wide on the right-hand side, laying it back to Mekele. And now here's De Bruyne, coming deep to receive, playing a probing pass out to the left-hand side to Doku. Doku into the penalty area now, checks back onto his right foot, shoots! Good block coming in there over on the right-hand side. I think it was by Arous, who manages to clear his lines as well, and he's gone down, clutching his right ankle there, Adam Arous. I think it was Castagna maybe who just left a foot in there as he was volleying the ball away. Yeah, Fulham defender just a little bit late to the challenge there as Adam Arous was volleying it away. So Tunisia just get a chance to reset here with this free kick. It's a pretty routine save in the end for Chamakh from that De Bruyne free kick. So they almost pushed it straight into the path of Trossard, but actually getting away with it, the Tunisia goalkeeper. And he's going to now get the game back underway. Launching the ball long, down the middle. Mekele misses it, and it's nodded back towards Courtois by Castagna. Courtois doing well to get there just ahead of Mastouri. This could be a big summer for Thibaut Courtois, though. Real Madrid goalkeeper, of course, missed out altogether on Euro 2024, having had a bit of a bust-up with the manager at the time, Domenico Tedesco. But he just needs 3 appearances to overtake Enzo Schifo at the top of Belgium's all-time World Cup appearances list. You'd imagine he may get those 3 appearances in the group stage. Yes, of course, Belgium were already qualified with a game to spare and decide to make a few changes. Entirely possible, but certainly Courtois, either way, in that scenario, would end up getting his 18th tournament appearance to take him past Enzo Schifo. As the ball now comes to Tielemans, deep inside Tunisia territory on the right-hand side. And Goy plays it inside to Trossard. Mekele moving it on here to Castagna. Now Doku, 30 yards from goal. Left of centre, little pass inside to De Bruyne. He just dallied on it for a moment and lost out, and then he's fouled Ayari there. Kevin De Bruyne, I think maybe just a bit frustrated at his first touch letting him down. Just leaving a foot in there on the young Tunisia winger, who actually showed a nice little piece of skill to step away from De Bruyne. He looks an interesting talent, doesn't he, this Khalil Ayari? 4 appearances for the under-23 team at PSG in the Premier League International Cup, scoring 1 goal in those 4 games, and made his debut back in March in the 1-0 win at Haiti. As Courtois now gathers the ball from Castagna, ambles up to the edge of his penalty area and finds Nathan Ngoy. Here's Onana now for Belgium, sliding a pass down the right-hand side that asks Meunier to get on his bike, which he does. Forced to check back eventually, though, Thomas Meunier. And then Onana and Tielemans combine. As Onana steps inside a challenge, midway inside the Tunisia half. Finds Mekele to his left. Mekele surging forward, playing it to his outside to De Bruyne, who is hugging that left touchline. He lays it back to Castagna. And now here's Tielemans. Tielemans lofting a nice pass out to the right-hand side to Trossard. Trossard thought about going to the byline, instead plays a little pass inside looking for Meunier. That's cut out, but then sliding in was Onana to get it back to Trossard. Here's Tielemans, back to Trossard. Trossard now down to the byline, tries to stand up across. Just gets it all wrong. There does Leandro Trossard. Just skews it behind for a goal kick to Tunisia. It's a big summer for Leandro Trossard with Belgium, you feel. Hasn't always been the darling of the Red Devils fans. Suggestion that he hasn't always delivered when it's mattered for the national team. A record of 11 goals in 50 appearances perhaps suggests otherwise, but nevertheless, he did only score 1 goal in qualifying for the World Cup, and that was in a 4-2 win over Wales. Away win over Wales back in October. As I say, he'll be looking to get that elusive first tournament goal this summer, Leandro Trossard. For now, it's Tunisia who have the ball just inside their own half with Arous, who lays it back to Talbi. And now here's Mahmoud. Skiri playing it back to Talbi, midway inside his own half. Plays it to his left to Omar Rekik. Once of Arsenal. He never made a senior appearance for the Gunners. And also Wigan Athletic, who he had a couple of spells with across their time in the Championship and League One. And it is Rekik who plays a searching ball down the left-hand side. A good one too to Achuri. Meunier does well to just nip in there first and get to the ball ahead of Achuri. So Achuri was going to be able to hit a left-footed cross into the penalty area. But as he flung his left foot at the ball, Meunier just nipped in and prodded the ball out of play for a throw-in. It is deep inside Belgium territory, though. And Ben Hamida has the ball. Launches it into the penalty area, nodded down. Another chance for Talbi here. Good block by Tielemans, and Belgium look to come away, although Trossard's pass up towards De Ketelaere is a poor one. And Mahmoud is able to get it back to Chamakh, who launches the clearance down the left-hand side. That's a little bit too high this time for Ashuri. It goes over his head and also the head of Thomas Meunier. And the ball goes out of play for a Belgium throw-in. So another little half chance there for Montassar Talbi. Actually scored in the 3-2 defeat against Nigeria in the African Cup of Nations group stage back in December. Also popped up with a goal in a 3-2 friendly win against Jordan in November too. There's 4 goals in his 63 appearances prior to this afternoon for Tunisia. As I say, he's the man who's had the 2 half chances for Tunisia so far. As Belgium now come down the left-hand side with Doku. Doku checks back, finds Tielemans. Tielemans looking to cross the ball in, but he had less time than he realised, and he was quickly shut down. But Henry Tielemans does well to win the ball back for Belgium. Slows it down a bit, finds Ngoy. Ngoy just lazily plays a pass to his left to Mekele. Here's De Bruyne now, moving it on to Doku, who's hugging the touchline again over on the left-hand side. Doku comes inside and then goes around the outside. Left-footed cross low. It's cleared away. Brought down with ease by De Bruyne. De Bruyne now plays a crossfield pass from left to right that finds its target. Meunier gathers in, lays it back to Ngoy. Here's Onana now. De Bruyne once more, taking up a more central position, flighting a pass up to Meunier, who had ghosted into the penalty area, but it's a really good piece of defending back there by Ben Hamida, who wins the aerial battle and then clears. But ball's come to Trossard here. He's found Tielemans, who tries to give it back to him. Sliding in there was Ben Hamida. And then the ball is cleared away by Skiri, back to Ben Hamida, who does well just to drill his clearance into Meunier. And the ball bouncing out of play for a Tunisia throw-in. So about 20 minutes gone here at the King Baudouin Stadium in Brussels in this final warm-up friendly before the World Cup for Belgium and Tunisia. If you are just joining us, it's still goalless. Certainly Belgium been making most of the running. A couple of opportunities for them. One from Leandro Trossard, a couple from Kevin De Bruyne as well. Tunisia also having a really decent opportunity through Montassar Talbi. No one has yet managed to break the deadlock. And Tunisia have a throw-in now. Over on the right-hand side, it's about 10 yards inside their own half. Sabri Lamouchi just paces around in his technical area. Mastouri gets the ball from the throw-in, can't hold it up with his back to goal. And here come Belgium again now with Ngoy. Plays it to his right to Meunier. Meunier just ambles across the halfway line and then turns around and plays it back to Ngoy. Here's Brandon Mekele, Club Brugge veteran. Tielemans laying it off to Onana, who gathers on the halfway line. Finds Tielemans again. Now here's Ngoy. Onana, who's just dropped in to make a back three temporarily alongside Ngoy and Mekele. Step forward a bit now as Tielemans finds De Bruyne. De Bruyne immediately runs into trouble though. And here come Tunisia now, although Mastouri once again dispossessed, this time by Tielemans as De Bruyne tries to find a pass to Trossard. That's well cut out, and here come Tunisia on the counter now as Garbi plays a good pass over to the right-hand side to Ayari, whose control is again impeccable. A couple of step-overs from the young winger. Almost loses it to Castagna, gets it back, but then just takes a bit of a heavy touch. The ball eventually bouncing out of play for a Belgium throw-in. So it looks as though we're going to take a quick drinks break here now that we've reached the midway point in this first half. to say, remains goalless between Belgium and Tunisia. These two actually played each other in the group stage of the World Cup back in 2018. Belgium emerging 5-2 victors on that occasion. There's actually 6 players in the Belgium squad that featured in that match. Thibaut Courtois, Yuri Tielemans, Romelu Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne, Axel Witsel and Thomas Meunier were all involved. And actually, Courtois, Lukaku and Witsel also played in a previous friendly meeting between these two sides, which Belgium won 1-0 back in June 2014. De Bruyne was an unused substitute that day. Belgium will begin their campaign at the World Cup against Egypt on Monday the 15th in Seattle. They then move on to face Iran in Los Angeles before taking on New Zealand in Vancouver. As for Tunisia, well, they also start on Monday the 15th of June as well. They take on Sweden in Monterrey in Mexico. And they stay there for their second group game, which is against Japan, before finishing off their campaign in Group F against the Netherlands and Kansas City. It's going to be a big challenge for them, though, isn't it, for them to get out of that group? Netherlands, Japan and Sweden. Netherlands obviously traditional powerhouse. Japan, I think, many people's dark horses for the tournament. You look at some of the results that they've picked up over the last 18 months or so. Certainly can't forget how they outclassed England at Wembley in April. And Sweden, of course, managed by Graham Potter and possessing a strike force, the envy of many teams, I'm sure, in the tournament, in the shape of Victor Gyökeres and Alexander Isak. As we now get the game back underway. Castagna takes the throw in down the left-hand side. They make about 10 or 15 yards, Belgium, before the ball bounces out of play off Jeremy Doku. And so Tunisia have the throw themselves now. About 5 yards inside the Belgium half. And it's Arous who takes it down the right-hand side. The ball's nodded on inadvertently towards Mastouri by Castagna. And Mastouri just shields it, lets it bounce out of play. And so Tunisia will have another throw in here. It's right down by the corner flag on the right-hand side. It's Adem Arous, the Kasim Paza defender, who's going to take. He launches it long into the penalty area. It's flicked on there by Talbi. Ball bouncing around a little bit awkwardly in the Belgian penalty area. It's going to come here to Ayari now, wide on the right-hand side. He's dispossessed, and Belgium look to come away now. And Doku's been set free down the left-hand side, bursting away. He's heading to the edge of the penalty area now. He's got De Bruyne ahead of him. De Bruyne around the goalkeeper, just keeps it in play, gets it back to Doku. Doku to the edge of the penalty area. Tielemans with the shots, and it just goes sailing over the crossbar. Well, I thought for all the world there that Kevin De Bruyne was going to put Belgium in the lead. When Doku played him in, it was the perfect pass. De Bruyne probably could have taken the finish on first time. Shamak was coming out to pressure him, decided to take a touch around the goalkeeper, but it was so heavy, the ball almost went out of play for a goal kick. De Bruyne slid in to keep it alive and did well ultimately, I guess, to get it back to Doku. And then when Belgium worked it back to Tielemans at the edge of the penalty area, it's the sort of position we've seen Yuri Tielemans score spectacular goals from before, isn't it? But on this occasion, the Belgium skipper just firing it over the crossbar. And Tunisia live to fight another day. Scored an absolutely belting goal, didn't he, Tielemans, in the Europa League final, as Aston Villa thumped Freiburg 3-0. And that occasion is finishing just letting him down. It remains goalless here in Brussels. As the ball comes here to Garbi. He plays it back to Talbi, bit of an awkward one that. The ball was bouncing around and Talbi just had to hoof it clear, no nonsense. Following it up to the halfway line. Ball eventually bouncing out of play for a Belgium throw over on their left-hand side. They've taken that quickly and worked it back to Courtois. Here's Ngoy now. Onana twisting and turning inside the centre circle, just inside his own half. He's felled and gets the free kick, which Belgium have taken quickly. It's wide on the left now with Doku into the penalty area. A couple of step overs. Doku, low cross. Leandro Trossard puts the ball away. Looks across to the assistant referee for an offside flag, but there isn't one coming. And Leandro Trossard, we highlighted his lack of goals, didn't we, a few moments ago? Well, he's popped up with one here, the Arsenal man. One that gives Belgium the lead. Great play down the left-hand side initially by Doku. I'm sure it'll be looked at by VAR just to make sure that Trossard hadn't strayed offside. But when the ball did come to him, he could hardly miss Trossard, no more than 7 or 8 yards out. Doku did well wide on the left, surged into the box, couple of step overs, popped it inside, fizzed the low cross in, and from right on the edge of the 6-yard box, Leandro Trossard just stabbing the ball home with his right foot for goal number 12 for Belgium, and one that puts them in the driving seat in this friendly against Tunisia. Probably just about deserve it on the balance of play, the Red Devils. And Courtois, from the kickoff, they won a throw-in, did Belgium, which they took quickly back to Courtois, but it was a really poor throw, and he got sold short, and he was getting closed down by Mastouri. Just had to hurriedly clear his lines there, Thibaut Courtois. Almost hit the ball straight into the Tunisia number 9. As the visitors now come again down the right-hand side. In comes the cross, too high for Mastouri. Volley back to Courtois, a little bit awkward, and he has to hack it away on the rise with the right foot. Out of play for a throw-in for Tunisia, which Ben Hamid has taken quickly. Looked like a foul throw there from him, lifting his right leg off the ground as he took it, but the referee happy to let that one slide. As Talbi now finds a pass into Garbi in midfield. Sloppy pass from Garbi inside the centre circle, though, presents it to Doku. And now De Bruyne through the middle of the park to the edge of the box. De Bruyne, good shot and a good save as well by Chamakh, just getting 2 hands on it and deflecting it away. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne's eyes must have lit up there as the sea just parted in front of him, and he surged towards the edge of the Tunisia penalty area, right through the heart of midfield. Let fly from about 25 yards and just stung the palms of Abdelmohib Chamakh. Goalkeeper, to his credit, did make a sharp save, but the pressure's just coming on here from Belgium now as De Bruyne finds Meunier on the right-hand side. Good block that comes in from Ben Hamida. But Belgium are going to have a corner nevertheless. Looking to turn the screw now, Rudy Garcia's men. Really did get hold of that shot, did De Bruyne, right-footed effort. Just skipping away from the challenge of Garbi in midfield that was a bit half-hearted. They've taken the corner short again, Belgium. Here's Doku, just outside the penalty area on the right-hand side. Finds a pass back to De Bruyne. Trossard back to Doku. Here's De Bruyne again. Swings in a wicked cross that is headed over the bar there by Brandon Mekele. He holds his head in his hands because he knows that probably should be 2-0 to Belgium. He's no more than 6 yards out as Mekele. And I'm sure that if you gave him that chance 9 times out of 10, he just would have nodded it into the back of the net. But alas, on this occasion, he sent it flying over the crossbar. He's a goal threat from set pieces, is Brandon Mekele. Scored 8 goals in all competitions for Club Brugge last season as they won the Jupiler Pro League. Did also score a goal for Belgium, his only one to date, in the 7-0 win against Liechtenstein in the World Cup qualifier back in November. Winning his 9th cap tonight, Mekele. He'll probably be thinking he should have had his 2nd goal in those 9 caps. Nonetheless, Belgium have quickly wrestled possession back from Tunisia from the goal kick, and they're working it down the left-hand side again. Here's De Ketelaere. Plays it to his outside to Doku. Doku tries to slide a pass to Castagna, who had made an underlapping run. That was cut out well by Tunisia. Belgium have it back, though, with Ngoy. Inside the centre circle, just inside the Tunisia half. Here's De Bruyne. Plays the ball up to De Ketelaere, who's into the penalty area. Has to turn back under some muscular attentions from Talbi. Doku doing well to carve out a little 1-2 with Castagna. Down to the byline goes Jeremy Doku and wins a corner for Belgium. He's looked very lively, hasn't he, in this opening half an hour or so, Jeremy Doku. Really sharp footwork there just to carve out that 1-2 with Castagna. It took a couple of white shirts to deny Jeremy Doku from putting his cross in. So we can just see now another replay of that Mekele chance. Absolutely golden one. As Doku now surges into the penalty area from the corner. Oh, and it should be 2-0 again. And Mekele again was there at the near post. I'm not sure if it was him who just got his feet in a tangle there. Doku just fizzed the ball across the face of the 6-yard box. De Bruyne had taken the corner short. Doku had just skipped away from Mahmoud, got into the penalty area, fizzed a low ball towards the near post. Mekele was definitely there as Belgium take another corner short. They've taken pretty much all of them short so far. De Bruyne finds a pass out to Tielemans on the edge of the box. It's back with De Bruyne wide on the left-hand side now, outside of the right foot cross, headed away at the near post. Good muscular defending back there by Castagna to win it back for Belgium. He plays it up the line to De Bruyne, who's still wide on that left-hand side. De Bruyne heads towards the byline, lays it back here to Leandro Trossard, who's bundled to the ground by Ayari. And the referee finds in favour of the Belgian man, awarding a free kick to the Red Devils. It's a little bit of a soft one. There wasn't a huge amount of contact, I don't think, between Khalil Ayari and Leandro Trossard, but Belgium won't mind too much. It's a free kick wide on the left, probably parallel with the penalty spot, I would say, more or less. About 5 yards in from the touchline. As you'd expect, Kevin De Bruyne stands over it. Be the in-swinger with the right foot, and it goes from De Bruyne, flicked on towards the back post. Oh, and it almost went all the way in. It was Mekele again there, making himself a nuisance in the penalty area, just making a run across the front post, just helping the ball on as much as anything. I'm not entirely sure he was trying to score, but the way it happened, he almost did score. Shamak had given it up more or less. He was just watching. Could only watch as the ball just landed past the far post. So Tunisia probably consider themselves pretty fortunate at this point not to be more than just a single goal down. So they look to just try and re-establish a footing in this game with a bit of possession at the back as Rekic finds Talbi. Talbi going long to Mastouri, who's well beaten in the air by Mekele. Picking up the second ball though is Skiri. Here's Ayari now, plays a nice little pass into Mahmoud, who gets into the penalty area, dispossessed by Castagna. Ayari wins it back for Tunisia, showing good feet to skip away from a couple of challenges. Gets fouled, does he? No. Oh, the referee, I think, is going to give the foul the other way there. Belgium wanting to get on with things quickly as De Bruyne just stabs the pass back to Mekele. Comes deep to collect off Ngoy now, does Kevin De Bruyne. And then fizzes a long, raking pass down the left-hand side towards Doku that's well cut out by Arus, who also wins the second ball too as Skiri lays it off to Mahmoud. And now here's Ben Hamida for Tunisia. Wide on the left-hand side, midway inside his own half. Tries to smuggle a pass down the left-hand side to Ashuri. Gets it back from him, and now Ben Hamida's surging. Tries to slide it in between Ngoy and Meunier for Achuri, who'd continued his run. That was well cut out by Belgium. Tunisia have a throw-in, though. Midway inside the Belgium half. It's Mohamed Amin Ben Hamida, again with the ball in his hands. Takes it short to Garbi, who hits a bit of a strange volleyed pass that I think was trying to spread the play, but ended up just going all the way back to Talbi, who then had to nod the ball back to the goalkeeper. Tunisia still have it, though. They're looking to build up again with Ben Hamida. Nice little 1-2 between him and Mastouri. And Ben Hamida's slide rule pass through to Mahmoud doesn't quite come off, and then Ngoy can just tidy things up and get the ball back to Thibaut Courtois. As Mekele now picks it up in the area, finds a pass to Doku, who gathers it in back to goal, goes down under a challenge and wins the free kick for his team, does Jeremy Doku. Was seeing a replay of that previous chance where I said I thought it was Mekele who was loitering at the near post from that fizzed low cross from Doku, and it was Mekele who got a touch on it, but the ball was actually cleared off the line by Tunisia. Really sharp piece of defending just to block it on the line. So as we enter the final 7 minutes of normal time in this first half, it's Belgium again on the ascendancy. Little back heel by Trossard to find Meunier. Meunier comes in field now, moves it on to Tielemans. Here's De Bruyne wide on the right hand side. De Bruyne, lovely little idea, trying to slide a pass into De Ketelaere, but he just overcooked it very slightly, Kevin De Bruyne. And that allowed Abdel Muhib Shamak to come out and pick the ball up. It's Tunisia now. Look to start constructing another attack from the back, but that's a slack pass from Arous that's just presented it straight to Castagna. Here's Doku now, playing it inside to Tielemans. De Bruyne finding Amadou Onana. Here's De Bruyne once again, inside the centre circle in the Tunisia half. Little pass from Mekele up to De Ketelaere. He works it on to Doku, who's hugging the touchline over on that left-hand side. De Ketelaere again. Drives down towards the byline on the left-hand side. Good defending back there, this time by Arous. Doku, though, wins it back. He's full of tricks today as Jeremy Doku gets it to Tielemans at the edge of the penalty area. Here's De Bruyne now. Plays it to his left to Castagna. Back to Tielemans. Lovely little return ball by Tielemans. Castagna's low cross. And that's well dealt with at the near post by Talbi. Good anticipation from the Lorient man just to get it away. But it's relentless waves of attack from Belgium at the moment. And here they come again now as Ngoy collects. Fizzes a pass over to the right-hand side to Meunier. Meunier laying it back to Onana. Here's Meunier once again, wide right. Swings in the cross towards the back post. Headed up but not entirely away by Tunisia. And the visitors are going to get a free kick here. Castagna just penalised for a shove in the back of Ayari, who was just looking to control that ball as it dropped from the sky. Timothy Castagna just leaving a little bit too much on Khalil Ayari. And Tunisia now coming away with it from the free kick. Here's Skiri now, the skipper. Garbi drops deep to try and get on the ball. She does. Plays it back to Skiri. And now here's Shamak. Left-footed clearance, goes long, down the left-hand side. Mastouri causing some problems for Mekele in the air, but Belgium do come away with the ball. And Tielemans shows good strength to hold off Mastouri. Here's Doku now, into the penalty area, down towards the byline. Another low cross from Doku. And again, it's deflected behind for a Belgium corner. Must be getting close to double figures now for these corners, Belgium. They've really looked to stretch the pitch down the sides of Tunisia at every opportunity. Let's see if this latest one goes short as well, because pretty much all of them have so far. It is De Bruyne standing over it on the left-hand side. Well, this one does go into the mixer, and it's Ngoy looking to get on the end of it, but it's headed away by Tunisia. Trossard, I think, might get penalised here for a shirt pull. No. Good play, though, by Ayari to keep the ball moving for Tunisia. And now wide on the left-hand side, it's Garbi. Midway inside the Belgium half. Just checks his movement. Plays it back to Ashuri. And now Rekik finding Talbi, who crosses the halfway line. Tries to play a nice raking ball over the top to Ayari. Great control again by Ayari. Back inside onto the left foot and into the penalty area. Castagna looking to stand him up. De Bruyne coming across to help as well, but Ayari's still got the ball. Lovely piece of skill to step inside De Bruyne. Lovely turn to get back away from him. He's taking them all on here, Ayari. Swings in across, right-footed. Nodded away by Ngoy. And then Tielemans. The pass out to De Bruyne. De Bruyne's given it away, though, uncharacteristically. And here comes Tunisia again, approaching the edge of the Belgian penalty area now. Here's Garbi, wide on the left-hand side. Into the box. Cuts inside onto the right foot. Shot is blocked well there by Ngoy. They've still got it, though, Tunisia, with Ashuri. Ashuri just standing on the ball, just outside the box on the left-hand side. A couple of little drag backs. Plays it back to Ben Hamida. Here's Garbi now. Little ball to Skiri on the edge of the box. Rekic moving it on to Talbi. Talbi shoots from range. That's a long, long way over Thibaut Courtois' crossbar. And Belgium, I think, will be pretty happy to see Montassar Talbi shooting from fully 30 or 35 yards. They haven't always looked entirely comfortable defensively, Belgium, in this opening half. Tunisia have certainly caused them problems. As I said earlier, Belgium, I think if they go into the interval with just the solitary goal advantage, they might just be a bit disappointed. But still time for a second as Meunier gets the ball down the right-hand side. Talbi comes across and looks to clear his lines, but only succeeds in whacking the clearance into Ben Hamida. And then the ball bouncing behind. And so it'll be yet another Belgium corner. This time it's from the right-hand side, and it's Trossard who's come across to take it. He's got Tielemans as the short option this time. It's Trossard, raises his left arm, fizzes it to the edge of the box, or at least tries to, but it's gone straight to Achuri, who immediately looks to set Tunisia away with a long pass up to Ayari, whose control is again impeccable. He steps inside his man and, well, tries to fizz a pass over to the right-hand side. He's a bit unfortunate there, Ayari's smashed the ball straight into the midriff of Elias Skiri, the captain, who's immediately gone down. That must be a bit of a painful one, because Ayari got hold of that pass and it's just gone straight into the ribs of Elias Skiri. So I imagine he's just going to be a bit winded here, the Tunisia skipper, who's one of many players in this Tunisia squad to have been born in France. The Eintracht Frankfurt man, making his 8th straight start for the national team. This is his 83rd appearance in all. He's named as the captain for the upcoming World Cup when the previous skipper, Ferjani Sassi, was omitted from the squad. Also got 200 Bundesliga appearances under his belt now, has Elias Skiri. Brought up that landmark on the final day of the Bundesliga season as Frankfurt took on Stuttgart. And he's going to be okay to continue, which is good to see, just making his way across to the touchline now. So the referee is going to restart the game with a drop ball to Belgium. We quickly move it out to Meunier on the right-hand side. We're into 3 minutes of additional time at the end of this first half. Here's Mekele. De Bruyne just caught there as he laid it back to Mekele, but the referee happy to play advantage as Doku picks it up wide on the left. Immediately steps inside, has his feet taken away from him there though, Jeremy Doku, and De Bruyne's not happy with that challenge. There's a bit of a flashpoint here, all the Belgian players coming over, then expressing their frustration with Khalil Ayari. It was a bit of a naughty one on Jeremy Doku, that challenge, and it was one that De Bruyne certainly didn't like. As Doku was just coming away with the ball, he was sliding in there with the left foot from behind Jeremy Doku, just looking to hook the ball away, but all he did was catch Doku on the left ankle or left leg. Doku went tumbling to the turf, and it was always going to be given as a free kick to Belgium. So it's been a bit of pain, Jeremy Doku, with the left ankle, but back on his feet now gingerly. And so as we head into the final 60 seconds of this first half, that's been entertaining without being electrifying. Still Belgium leading by a goal to nil as De Bruyne takes the free kick short to Doku. Doku skips away from two. Low cross from him. Onana's header just going wide of the right-hand post. Jeremy Doku, again, he's just unplayable, isn't he, when he's running at people like that. Couple of step-overs, skipping away from two Tunisia defenders down to the byline. A low left-footed cutback. found its way to Onana, who stooped to head the ball towards goal. And he probably should do better with that, Onana. Instead, he's just nodded it past the far post. Well, the referee has dipped into his notebook for the first time in this game, and it's to show a yellow card to the Belgian manager, Rudy Garcia. I think he'd been sharing his thoughts with the fourth official in fairly forthright fashion, so he's gone into the notebook. As Belgium now to get on the front foot again, but the referee does eventually blow his whistle to bring to an end a first half that has simmered without ever truly boiling over, I would say. It's been Belgium very much in the ascendancy for the most part. Had a couple of early sights of goal through Kevin De Bruyne. Tunisia also had a really good chance in the early stages to take the lead through Talbi, who just picked up a little knockdown in a penalty area at a set piece, but could only volley the ball over the bar. But the breakthrough came around the half-hour mark as Leandro Trossard stabbed the ball home from 6 yards after some really good work down the left-hand side by Jeremy Doku, who's been absolutely electric in this opening period. Belgium probably could have added to their advantage. Chances for De Bruyne and, in particular, Brandon Mekele going begging. They had another opportunity right on the stroke of half-time there through Amadou Onana as well. So Belgium going into the interval just with the solitary goal lead. Could well have been more, but I'm sure Rudy Garcia, despite getting his yellow card there a couple of moments ago, will be broadly happy with what he's seen from his team. It's half-time at the King Baudouin Stadium in Brussels. I'm going to take a little break, but make sure you rejoin us in 15 minutes or so, and I'll bring you live coverage of the entire second half. But at the interval here, it's Belgium 1, Tunisia 0. Hello again, Chris Bryant here to bring you live coverage of the second half of this final pre-World Cup warm-up friendly between Belgium and Tunisia. If you are just joining us, we missed the first half in which Belgium made most of the running, it has to be said, but they just lead by a solitary goal to nil. That provided by Leandro Trossard, the Arsenal Premier League winner, scoring his 12th goal for Belgium and his first since back in October. Had chances to extend their lead as well through Brandon Mekele and De Bruyne too, Kevin De Bruyne, but still 1-0 to Belgium at this point. A couple of substitutions to tell you about for Tunisia at the interval. The lively Khalil Ayari, he's gone off to be replaced by Sebastian Tunekti. And also Hazam Mastouri, he's gone off as well. And he's been replaced by Firas Shawa. No changes for Belgium as far as I can tell. I will update you if I realise that is not the case. But we're back underway, and Tunisia immediately firing the ball long down the left-hand side, but that's easy for Meunier just to chest it back to Thibaut Courtois. And now here's Yuri Tielemans. Mekele under a little bit of pressure there from Garbi. Has to go back to Courtois. Courtois rolls a pass into Tielemans, who's floored by Garbi, who continued his press. And the referee penalising Ismail Garbi. Belgium take the free kick quickly, and here's Tielemans up to the halfway line. Plays it to his left to Castagna, who moves it on down that left-hand side to De Ketelaere. Comes inside onto his right foot, looking for options. He's lost out there in the end as Charles De Ketelaere, and Tunisia look to come away with Ashuri. One back though by Belgium, and then volleyed clear by Tunisia, and a first touch here for Shawa. He plays it to Garbi, who makes progress down the left-hand side. He's got Ben Hamida to his left, finds him. Skiri with the ball into the penalty area. Oh, and Mahmoud had made a good run into the box. The ball just evading him and bouncing through to Courtois, who's set Belgium away quickly. De Bruyne finds Doku down the left-hand side. Doku into the penalty area now. Little shimmy, couple of step overs, lays it back to De Bruyne, curls the ball in, nodded towards goal, and wow, Leandro Trossard puts his hands on his hips, and a bit of a rueful grin from Leandro Trossard there, because he knows that was a good opportunity to get his second and Belgium's second of the afternoon. Good play by Doku initially. De Bruyne with a wicked little cross towards the back post. Trossard was waiting there, but actually it's a really good defensive intervention by Ben Hamida, who just got his head to the ball first. It's a corner though to Belgium, which De Bruyne has taken short. In comes the cross from the right-hand side. It's cleared away briefly by Tunisia, only as far as Castagna though. Here's De Ketelaere now, wide on the left-hand side, into the box, shimmies onto the left foot, just eased out of it pretty comfortably by Adam Arous. That's another underwhelming little piece of play from Charles De Ketelaere. If this is an audition for the number 9 spot for Belgium, it's not going too well for him so far. He's found his feet again at Atalanta after a really disastrous spell at AC Milan. Played 40 games for them without scoring a single goal. Did manage to pick up a Europa League winners medal with Atalanta a few years ago. As Belgium now look to work it down the right-hand side as Onana picks the ball up just inside the Tunisia half. Here's Tielemans now, moving it on to Castagna. Here's Doku, wide left. Plays it back inside to Tielemans. Tielemans, 25 yards from goal. Twisting and turning, finding Doku again. Doku just skipping away from Ashuri. Ashuri does well to get back at him, but Doku finds Tielemans. De Ketelaere with a little layoff to Ngoy. And here's Tielemans now, getting away from Garbi, who just grabs his shirt and sends him tumbling to the floor, and that's going to be the first yellow card of the afternoon, certainly for the players anyway. It's been given to Ismail Gabi. Safe for the players, as Rudy Garcia, the Belgium coach, was also booked just on the stroke of half-time. And so Belgium are going to have a free kick here. It's left of centre, about 35, 40 yards out. Certainly too far out to shoot for Kevin De Bruyne, who instead is going to just chip it into the penalty area towards the back post on the right-hand side. Nodded away, falls to Mekele. Oh, Mekele on the half volley, just lashing it over the crossbar. It's an awkward chance for Brandon Mekele, in fairness to him. May have even been an offside there, possibly from the free kick. But when it came to Mekele, it just bounced awkwardly in front of him, and he caught it on the half volley, but just leaning back, just sent the ball flying over Abdelmahib Chamak's crossbar. And Tunisia, from the goal kick, have launched it long, and it's already back with Belgium as Mekele finds Tielemans. He plays it back to Courtois. And Goy moves it on to Meunier. Trossard now sliding a ball down the right-hand side, asking De Ketelaere to chase. He just bundles into Talbi, or Rekic, I should say, who knocks the ball out of play. Rekic wanted the free kick, but the referee awarding Belgium the throw-in instead. Now here's Tielemans. De Bruyne with a little bit of space in front of him, 25 yards from goal. Slides a pass through to De Ketelaere, who took a heavy first touch. It's come to Doku here, just outside the penalty area. Onana now, moving it on to Trossard over on the right-hand side. Trossard, couple of step-overs, checks onto his left foot, lays it back to the edge of the box to Tielemans. Tielemans now, left-footed pass out to the left-hand side, and it's a good one. Volley back into the middle. De Ketelaere juggling the ball, finding a shot left-footed. That's blocked. Tunisia desperately trying to get it away. It's back with De Ketelaere. Trossard trying to find space to work an angle for a shot, but failing to do so. And then Tunisia eventually get it clear. And Shawa bundled to the floor, midway inside his own half. Goes down holding his right foot, but the referee not interested in his protests. And the game continues. It was Tielemans who just came in to make the challenge on the substitute, but here come Belgium again as De Bruyne finds Doku wide on the left-hand side. More step-overs, tries to go down to the byline. Good defensive play this time by Achuri, who shows good skill himself, actually, to step back inside Doku, and then it's hacked clear by Talbi. Gathered in, though, by Tielemans. And now Mekele, having to go all the way back to Courtois, who quickly moves it on left-footed to Ngoy. Here's Trossard now. Little pass inside to Onana, who's inside the centre circle, just inside his own half. Clips the ball to his left to Castagna, who gets inside the Tunisia penalty area now. Plays it back to Tielemans. Right-footed cross from Tielemans. A header comes in! Oh, and it's a brilliant header! And it's a goal for Belgium! And it's a goal for Charles de Ketelaere! Well, the commentators curse, whatever the reverse of that is. That's what I've just done with Charles de Ketelaere, because I was saying that he was having a bit of a difficult afternoon. Nothing seemed to be sticking for him, but he's just come up with a lovely finish there, headed into the back of the net for goal number 6 for Belgium. And Charles de Ketelaere doubling the Red Devils' lead here in Brussels. It was Castagna who made the initial foray down the left-hand side, and then it was a glorious cross in from the left from Yuri Tielemans on the right foot. Put it on a plate for De Ketelaere, who just helped it on its way. No chance whatsoever for Chamak. And Charles de Ketelaere, who had a decent World Cup qualifying campaign, 5 goal involvements in his 6 appearances, a couple of goals against Liechtenstein in a 7-0 win in November, as well as 3 assists too. Did also pop up with a goal in a 5-2 win against the USA in a friendly in March. And maybe, just maybe, that has secured his spot in the starting 11 for that big opening game at the World Cup against Egypt. Belgium, of course, do have Romelu Lukaku in reserve, but he's had a really difficult season at Napoli. Injury restricted. Really lacking match fitness from Romelu Lukaku, so perhaps De Ketelaere will be the man to spearhead the Belgium attack against Egypt. We'll see. But for now, he's put them in a really commanding position in this game. And Tunisia with it all to do here as Onana plays a pass down the right-hand side to Trossard into the box. Low cross from Trossard. It's well blocked over there by Talbi. And then Tunisia winning a free kick there for a challenge by De Bruyne on Tunekti, the Celtic man who came on at half-time. It's actually Onana, I think, who made the foul. And so Ben Hamida, well, thinks about taking the free kick. Leaves it to Omar Rekik. And then Trossard just kicking the ball back 5 yards or so to where he thought it should be taken from. In the end, it's actually all the way back here now with Shamak, who from open play drills it long down the middle up towards Shawa, who's beaten to it by Ngoy. Skiri volleying the ball back into the Belgium half. And coming away with it here down the left-hand side is Castagna, who did well to get there ahead of Achuri. Here's Tielemans now, trying to measure a pass up towards Trossard, but that's well cut out by Tunisia, who come forward with Skiri. He lays it back now, and a little touch in there in midfield for Garbi. Sold short was Ben Hamida, who's just run into trouble, but he's going to get a free kick here, is he? I think he is, yeah. Meunier just penalised for the challenge. Just got there slightly too late, Thomas Meunier. And so Tunisia have a free kick. Just inside the Belgium half. Left of centre, between the edge of the centre circle and the touchline. And now here's Rekik. Plays a pass over to the right-hand side to Achuri. Achuri drives towards the byline. Checks back. Plays a pass back to Arous. Here's Talbi now for Tunisia. Finds Arous once again, just inside the Belgium half. Nice little pass inside by Arous to Mahmoud. Mahmoud surging forward, has a shot from the edge of the box. Good save by Courtois. It's come out to Tunekti on the edge of the box, but his touch was a bit heavy and that allowed Belgium to come away with the ball, although Trossard can't gather it in. And here come Tunisia again, down the left-hand side this time with Tunekti. Overlapping run here from Ben Hamida. Stands up the cross. Castagna heads it away. Ball's going to come here to Arous, I should say, who gets in ahead of Doku. De Bruyne back there for Belgium to tidy things up. Now it's come here to Tielemans, inside his own penalty area, but doing well to clear the ball away. De Ketelera's clearance only going as far, though, as Talbi. Here's Mahmoud now, playing it to his right to Achuri. Achuri's pass inside finds Skiri. Now, wide on the left-hand side is Ben Hamida. It's come here to Tunekti. Cuts inside onto his right foot. Tries to find a pass to Garbi. That's cut out well. De Bruyne's pass sells the Ketelera a bit short. And a shot comes in. Oh! And Achuri hits the crossbar. Absolutely rattling the frame of the goal. He holds his head in his hands because he was that close to bringing Tunisia back into this game. From the inside right channel, level with the penalty spot. He's rattled a right-footed shot in. And it's hammered into the stanchion. Courtois beaten, all ends up. And Elias Achuri, oh so close to giving Tunisia a lifeline in this game. But all of a sudden, Belgium just looking a little bit rattled here. As Skiri tries to play a 1-2 with Achuri. Achuri's gathering the ball in there and just taking a slightly heavy touch that allows Mekela to win it back for Belgium. But Tunisia have it back here. Good play by Arous to win it back. And then Achuri moving it on to Rekik, who, under pressure, has to go all the way back to Shamak, the goalkeeper. And he plays it out here to Talbi. Ben Hamida finding a pass inside to Mahmoud, just on the edge of the centre circle inside his own half. Plays a pass to his left to Ben Hamida again. Here's Rekik now. Mahmoud slides it up to Garbi, who works it out to the left-hand side to Ben Hamida. Ben Hamida checks inside onto the right foot, slides a pass to Skiri on the edge of the box. He tries to set it for Garbi. Oh, and Garbi with the left-footed shot just sails past the post. But this is way better from Tunisia. They've looked more threatening in the last 60 seconds or so than they did in the entirety of the first half, in truth. Elias Achuri coming oh so close to bringing them back into the game. He's certainly going to be one of their leading lights at the World Cup, isn't he? Achuri had a really strong season for Copenhagen. 12 goal involvements in 37 games as Doku all of a sudden is through on goal. Oh, and Doku, I can't believe it. He's run the ball out of play. It was just a long clearance from the goal kick from Courtois. Tunisia criminally let the ball bounce. De Ketelaere helped it on from a wide left position, and suddenly Doku was in on goal. He had Arus for company, but he was through one-on-one. He's just taken a heavy touch and run the ball out of play. Extraordinary stuff there. You would have thought that Doku was just going to bury the ball into the back of the net, but alas no. And all of a sudden it's really end-to-end here as Mahmoud sends Achuri away down the right-hand side. He gathers it in near the corner flag. Comes inside onto the left foot. He's got a supporting run there from Mahmoud. Achuri trying to find Garbi on the edge of the box. His little flick is cut out. And here's De Bruyne now, just chipping a cute little pass into midfield to Ketelaere. And then Trossard trying to release Doku, and Doku's in this time. Doku onto the left foot. Looks to cut it back instead of shooting, surprisingly, I have to say. And that just allows Arus to make a block. Jeremy Doku, you would have thought the goal-scoring form he was in for Manchester City towards the end of the season maybe would have just got his head down and put his foot through the ball there from that inside left position. He had a clear sight of goal, could have either opened his body up and tried to bend it towards the far right-hand corner, or tried to drill it with his left foot and beat the goalkeeper, either at the near or the far post or into the roof of the net above him. But he did none of those things, and Belgium have a corner anyway, and it's a good one from De Bruyne. It's come to Trossard. Shot from the edge of the box is blocked. They've had some really good corner routines today, Belgium. And that was another one. De Bruyne fizzing it to Trossard, who was just standing in the D on the edge of the penalty area. Took one touch on the right foot to control and then drilled it towards goal, left-footed. As Belgium take this latest corner, De Bruyne gets it back. Low fizz cross from him. Oh, and it's cleared off the line. Trossard just trying to force it in. It's headed off the line by Tunisia, who are looking to come away with the ball, but Castagna winning it back for Belgium. And then Garbi, oh, he's in big trouble here, Garbi. It's a second yellow card for Ismail Garbi. It was a pretty reckless challenge on Jeremy Doku. He can't believe it, Garbi, but he's going to have to go here. Tunisia, 2 goals down, as if that wasn't bad enough. They're also going to have to play the final 28 minutes or so here with 10 men, because Ismail Garbi, the 22-year-old Braga man, has been given his marching orders for 2 yellow cards. He's not happy with the referee's verdict, but as Doku controlled the ball there from the pass from Castagna, he slid in. He may have got a slight touch on the ball, Garbi. It's hard to tell, but in the referee's eyes, it was a clear second yellow card for Ismail Garbi. And he disappears off down the tunnel. And unfortunately for Tunisia, their task has just got a whole lot harder with that red card, already trailing by those goals to nil from Leandro Trossard and Charles de Ketelaere. And there could be more to come here as Belgium take the free kick. De Bruyne slides in, Doku down the left-hand side, low cross from him. Oh, and it was Ngoy who had come forward, who just steered it towards goal with the left foot. But unfortunately for him and Belgium, the ball just directed straight down the throat of Shamak, the goalkeeper, who was able to catch it with the minimum of fuss. And Tunisia just escaped for now, but they can't get out at the moment, the visitors, and Belgium have it back as Tielemans finds De Bruyne. Here's Onana now, midway inside the Tunisia half, moving it on to Trossard. Trossard trying to find a bit of space to shoot on the edge of the penalty area. He's forced wide to the right-hand side, but keeps it alive nicely to Meunier. Here's Ngoy now. Mekele, 35 yards out, finds Castagna. Here's Doku once again wide on the left-hand side. Doku just takes a moment and then finds Castagna, who'd made an overlapping run. Left-footed cross from Castagna that's volleyed up but not entirely away. De Bruyne Knocks it down to Mekele. And now Ngoy, working it out to the right-hand side to Meunier. Here's Trossard now. Trossard, left-footed pass back inside to Mekele. Here's De Bruyne, 25 yards out, central position. Finds Doku to his left. Doku comes inside, finds De Bruyne again. De Bruyne shoots! De Bruyne scores! Oh, form is temporary, but class is permanent. And Kevin De Bruyne lashes in a goal from the edge of the penalty area. Sensational finish from the former Manchester City man. And this is in danger of getting a little bit ugly for Tunisia, because Belgium extend their lead to 3-0. It's Kevin De Bruyne's 37th goal in the red and yellow and black of Belgium. And it's one of his better ones, it has to be said. So easy. Doku just getting it wide on the left-hand side, playing the pass back inside to De Bruyne. And he took aim from 20 yards or so and just drilled it low into the bottom left-hand corner from that inside left berth. Shamak didn't even move. And Kevin De Bruyne stamps his class all over this game, as Belgium now take the opportunity to make a couple of changes. Onana goes off to be replaced by Hugo Van Aken, and also Charles de Ketelaere. He goes off to be replaced by Belgium's all-time leading scorer, Romelu Lukaku. Tunisia also making a change, with Ben Hamida going off. And coming on in his place is Martada Ben Ouanez. You can also see Anis Ben Slimane has come on too. He's come on to replace Elias Ashuri. So double changes by both managers after those goals. After that goal, I should say, for Kevin De Bruyne, as Shamak clears it long down the left-hand side. It's picked up here by Tunekti. He's lost out, and here come Belgium again, surging into the box. It's cut back here to Lukaku. It's going to come to Van Aken. Early touch for him. Back to Tielemans. It's moved on by Castagna to Doku. Doku trying to slide it into Trossard. Trossard showing good feet to keep the ball alive in the penalty area. Rolls a pass to Tielemans on the edge of the box. De Bruyne, cute little flick that's found its way to Van Aken. He heads it on to Trossard. Wide on the left, Trossard just trying to stab it down to Doku by the byline, but Trossard just putting a little bit too much weight on that pass, and it rolled out of play for a Tunisia goal kick. Incidentally, there is one more Tunisia change that took place to bring you up to speed with. Mohamed Belhaj Mahmoud has also departed, and he's been replaced by Elias Saad. As we enter now the final 23 minutes or so, the players are going to have another drinks break here, as will be the case when they get to North America. It's going to be a really tough test, isn't it, for the European teams in the searing heat likely to be experienced in the USA, Mexico, and certainly parts of Canada. But as far as today's concerned, you'd imagine the job is almost done for Belgium. Now it'll just be a case of avoiding any unwanted injuries, possibly getting some minutes into the legs of some of their substitutes and protecting a couple of those on the pitch currently. Certainly the situation with Lukaku is a really interesting one that Rudy Garcia is going to have to figure out, isn't it? 33 years of age now, Romelu Lukaku, the scorer of 90 goals, would you believe, for Belgium, earning his 126th cap this afternoon. Those 90 goals actually put him 5th in the all-time international goal scorers list that is headed up almost inevitably by Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. But yeah, Lukaku only made 64 minutes of action across the season, across 7 substitute appearances for Napoli. Just the 1 goal in that time as well, coming in a 2-1 win over Verona in Serie A in February. He is the leading man, isn't he, historically up front for Belgium. It's going to be fascinating to see whether he's preferred to Ketelere for that opening game against Egypt. As the game gets back underway with Shamak launching the goal kick long. Ball's nodded down and out of play. And taking the throw in for Tunisia over there is Ben Ouanez, who's come on at left back. He goes down the line. Shawaz beaten in the air. It's a bit of an awkward pass from Trossard that was volleyed all the way back to Courtois. Courtois finding Castagna. Here's Mekele now, 5 yards inside his own half. Plays it on to Ngoy. And then coming down the right-hand side here is Meunier. In comes the cross, the low one. It's headed away. Only as far as Meunier, though, who gathers it in nicely. And then Trossard collecting on the right-hand side, looking to find a bit of space, combining again with Meunier, but again, pass from Trossard is a bit heavy, although I think it's maybe got a deflection, has it? It could be a corner here for Belgium. Yeah, it is another corner for the Red Devils. From the right-hand side, and once again, De Bruyne comes across to take. He goes short again to Trossard. Trossard gives it back to De Bruyne. A little layoff here, finds its way back to Trossard. Here's Ngoy, a little lazy backheel from him that doesn't make its way to Doku. And it's just hacked clear pretty unceremoniously by Tunisia, who at the moment are just in survival mode really, as Doku gathers it on the left-hand side. Into the penalty area he goes again. 3 white shirts surrounding him. Does well to hold it up, Doku. He finds Van Aken. Van Aken to Tielemans on the edge of the box. It's Van Aken again now, the Club Brugge man. Sells Tielemans a little bit short. Shawa tries to win it back for Tunisia, but Ngoy sees him off pretty easily. And Mekele moving it on to Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne now plays a pass out to the right-hand side to Meunier. Here's Van Aken. Tielemans now moving it on to Mekele. It's back here with Doku, just outside the penalty area. Left corner of it. A couple of step-overs, and then Doku makes a real mess of the pass. Tielemans snapping in to try and win it back for Belgium. Headed away by Tunisia for now. Stabbed clear, looking for the run of Shawa, who almost got away actually, but Ngoy stepped in well. And then Tunisia have themselves a throw-in now. Castagna just sliding in there to make a challenge on Mahmoud. It looks as though that's going to be the prompt for Belgium to make a triple change here. I can see Maxim de Kauper, Axel Witsel down there. They're poised to come on, I should say. And also Matthias Fernandez-Pardo. The game has actually resumed. And it's De Bruyne on the ball for Belgium. He plays it out to the right-hand side. It's Meunier coming forward to the edge of the box. Trossard tries to turn it round the corner to De Bruyne, gets it all wrong though, and Tunisia come away with the ball. And they're going to have a throw in here, are they? Yes, they are. There was a bit of confusion temporarily about whether it actually gone out of play. It looked as though the ball had just stopped on the line, but it did go out of play. And that now means that Belgium can make this, looks to be actually a quadruple change. You can see Dodi Luque Bacchio also preparing to come on. Just to confirm from the previous Tunisia changes, it obviously wasn't Belhaj Mahmoud who went off, it was Mohamed Amin Ben Hamida instead. But those men coming off for Belgium now, I will confirm for you shortly. One of them is certainly Timothy Castagna, who's going to be replaced by Maxim de Kauper. Looks as though Yuri Tielemans is coming off too. He's had another decent game in the engine room for Belgium, setting up that De Ketelere goal with a lovely cross from the left-hand side. Looks as though the first goal scorer is going to come off too, Leandro Trossard. And I think Jeremy Doku's afternoon is over as well. I think Tunisia will be pretty relieved about that. And so Axel Witsel coming on, as is Matthias Fernandez-Pardo, who's one of the really interesting late call-ups to the Belgium squad by Rudy Garcia. He's a youngster, 21 years of age, who plays for Lille. He's had a bit of a breakout season in the French top flight. 8 goals and 7 assists for them. Actually got 5 goals in his last 10 games of the season in Ligue 1, so comes into this in pretty hot form. As Mahmoud now gathers it for Tunisia on the right-hand side, deep inside the Belgium half. Decides to play it all the way back to Talbi. Oh, and Talbi playing it back to Shamak, who just let the ball run under his foot, and a bit of a heart-in-mouth moment there for the Tunisia goalkeeper. Got away with it, though, as it's played long down the right-hand side. Good piece of defending over there by De Kauper, just getting there first. Yeah, but almost a horror moment there for Shamak, the goalkeeper, who tried to stop the ball with the undersole of his foot. And the ball just ran underneath his foot, but just clipped his studs on the way through, so lost any momentum that would have maybe taken it towards the goal line. As Belgium look to come forward again here with De Bruyne. Crosses the halfway line, now wearing the captain's armband following the departure of Tielemans. Here's Pardo now, picks it up over on the right-hand side. Fernandez Pardo. Good little piece of skill from him. De Kauper, just outside the Tunisia box, has his attempted cross blocked. Mekele gathers it back in for Belgium. 15 minutes to go. It's Belgium 3, Tunisia 0, as De Bruyne finds a good pass that's kept in play by Witsel. Fernandez Pardo gets it back to De Bruyne. And here he is again now, substitute. Fernandez Pardo, wide on the left-hand side. Checks inside onto his right foot. Lovely little first-time touch by Van Aken, trying to combine there with Luca Bacchio. Tunisia just about managed to smuggle that away. They want a free kick there, but they're not going to get it. And here's Fernandez Pardo again down the left-hand side, into the penalty area, down towards the byline. Tries to cross it left-footed, but strong piece of defensive play there by Adem Arous, just holding off Matthias Fernandez Pardo, and just ushering him out of play. But as I say, yeah, this 21-year-old from Lille, he's got a Spanish dad and an Italian mum. He was brought up in Belgium and is now playing in France. So he certainly had, well, he had options for sure. He could have played for Spain, made appearances for their youth teams. And actually said in an interview with Marca back in 2024 that his heart lies with Spain and that he's absolutely sure he'd play for them. But alas, looks as though he's going to the World Cup with Belgium, as Luca Bacchio showing great skill to carve himself out. A little chance over on the right-hand side with the left foot, but it's a good block that comes in that denies him. But Belgium have it back, and it's with Meunier. Here's Luca Bacchio again. Slides it to the edge of the box to De Bruyne. He finds Ngoy. Ngoy curling it towards goal. That's pretty easy for Shamak to deal with. Just diving low to his left-hand side. Was on target from Ngoy. Just a curler with the right foot. More of a pass than a shot, if anything. Just didn't have the pace on it to really trouble the Tunisia keeper. As Shawa tries to gather a long pass in from the goal kick, but the offside flag is up against him. So it's more frustration for Tunisia, as they look to maybe just stem the bleeding now in this one, finding themselves, as they do, 3 goals down and a man down as well. Thanks to that red card for Ismail Garbi, as Fernandez Pardo does well to stretch and keep in a flighted pass. Gets it back from De Bruyne. Here he is, down to the byline. Right-footed cross, that's headed away. It's going to come to De Bruyne, though, who lets the ball run out of play and then takes a quick throw-in back to Mekele. Here's De Bruyne once more. Rare slack pass from him this time. And well, De Bruyne also then giving away a free kick, having presented the ball to Tunisia. And there's another break in play here, because we're going to have a few more substitutions, as is the way in these international friendlies, of course. 'Twas ever thus. But the first change here is for Tunisia, and it's Arous who's going to go off, and he's being replaced by the 18-year-old Rayan Alumi, who's coming on for the final 11 minutes or so. That's whatever time the fourth official wants to add on here. Is Shawa challenging for the ball in the air with Mekele from a long clearance. Losing out to Mekele, but Tunisia have a throw-in. It's midway inside the Belgium half over on the right-hand side. And so another little pause here to allow Belgium to make a couple more changes. And Kevin De Bruyne, well, his work for the afternoon is done. He's been a constant menace to that Tunisia rearguard, looking threatening every time he's picked the ball up, and got his goal as well with a lovely strike from the edge of the penalty area. So he's gone off, as has Thomas Meunier. So two of the old guard going off, and they've been replaced by Nicolas Raskin, the Rangers midfielder, and also Diego Moreira. So confirm in due course how that affects the Belgium shape and structure. But Moreira generally is a left-sided player, although he's pretty versatile, can play on the right as well, and that is actually where he started, Diego Moreira. As Luka Bacchio now picks it up for Belgium. Midway inside the Tunisia half. Finds a really good crossfield pass to De Kuyper. De Kuyper swinging across towards the far post, but well, that's not the Brighton man's best cross, it has to be said. Pretty disappointing one in truth. He had a decent first season, didn't he, at the Amex Stadium? Did struggle a bit with injuries at times, but got the assist for Yuri Tielemans' opening goal in the 2-0 win against Croatia on Tuesday. And he's certainly got good delivery from that left-hand side, but on occasion just got the execution a bit wrong. As Rekic now finds Talbi. Talbi's pass back to Shamak, who has to rush and just scuffs his clearance to Van Aken. Here's Lukaku now. Plays it wide to Moreira. Moreira goes on the outside towards the byline. Tries to cut it back. There was a shout for handball there, but Tunisia eventually managed to smuggle it away, and Ngoy just shields the ball out for a throw, which he takes himself. Combining with Witsel. Ball has come here now to Raskin. Here's Witsel. Now Ngoy. Luka Bacchio. Left-footed cross from him. It's a really good one. Oh, and in there was De Kuyper, who had just stolen a march from that left flank to get into the middle of the penalty area. I'll tell you what, he wasn't too far away from getting the connection he wanted on that. Just managed to get in between the centre halves. Steered it towards goal. It's actually come off his shoulder, Maxime De Kuyper. A little bit unfortunate. He's got a good goal-scoring record for Belgium, actually, De Kuyper. 4 goals already, and this is just his 19th cap this afternoon. Those 4 goals all came in a run of 8 games, actually, between October 2024 and September 2025. A couple of goals, couple of assists for him in the World Cup qualifying campaign. As Shawa does well to hold the ball up for Tunisia, midway inside the Belgium half, over on the left-hand side. But visitors are quickly forced back all the way to Shamak. There's Talbi finding a pass into midfield. It's gathered in there by Moreira, who just lays it down to Ngoy. And Ngoy playing it all the way back to Thibaut Courtois. He's had a pretty quiet afternoon, hasn't he? Thibaut Courtois earning his 109th clean sheet for the Red Devils. Oh, sorry, earning his 109th cap, I should say, for the Red Devils today. This would be his 56th clean sheet in those 109 games, if he can pull it off. But meanwhile, Belgium are coming forward again. It's Raskin into the penalty area. Oh, and it was Fernandez Pardo who eventually got on the ball and drilled it towards goal. But it's gone high, wide, and not particularly handsome. It was a really nice pass from Luka Bacchio to set him free. And he got in there, Fernandez Pardo. Probably should have done better. It was quite a tight angle on the right foot. You can see what he's trying to do to drill it into the roof of the net, but just didn't get the execution he wanted. As Witsel wins the ball in the air from the long goal kick. Lukaku, good bit of play from him back to goal that sees him lay it off to Van Aken. Now here's Axel Witsel, still going strong at 37 years of age. And there's a bit of a poor pass from Ngoy over to Moreira on the right-hand side. Ngoy just frustrated with himself there, and you can understand why. Wasn't his finest moment. And Tunisia have a throw-in. It's level with the edge of their own penalty area, wide on the left-hand side. It's going to be taken by Ben Anous. He throws it long towards Shawa, who's beaten in the air once again. Now here's Raskin. Raskin finding a short pass to Van Aken. Here's Fernandez Pardo popping up on the left again, down towards the byline. Little flick backwards, Lukaku tussling in there, and it's bundled in! And it's Dodi Lukebakio, Johnny on the spot, to make it Belgium 4, Tunisia 0. The Benfica man, he's had a pretty tough season. A lot of injury problems after picking up a fractured ankle. Just one goal in 23 appearances for Benfica since joining them in September. But things have gone rather better for him in the red, yellow and blue shirt, or red, yellow and black shirt, I should say, of Belgium. 2 goals scored off the bench in the 5-2 win against the USA back in March. And then a goal as a starter 4 days later in a 1-1 draw with Mexico. And he's got another one here, his 6th for the national team, and it's an acrobatic finish. It was Fernandez Pardo who just drove to the byline down the left-hand side. Little flick of the outside of the right foot to set it back. Lukaku was in there really menacingly, but then it popped up to Lukebakio, who just got airborne to volley it home with his left foot and to really put some gloss on this scoreline for Belgium. And for Tunisia, well, it's a really chastening one, isn't it, as they prepare for this opening game against Sweden at the World Cup. Not exactly what Sabri Lamouchi would have wanted. I think now they just need to make sure that this scoreline doesn't get any worse in the final 4 minutes or so. But Belgium really look to have the bit between their teeth as Moreira finds Van Aken. Good challenge in there by Skiri in midfield to deny him. And coming away down the left is Tunekti, but he's been dispossessed. Excellent piece of play out there by Lukebakio, the goal scorer, who checks back onto his left foot into the penalty area now. Laying it back to Moreira. Moreira swings in a left-footed cross towards the back post, nodded down by Van Aken. Lukaku was there, just about cleared by Tunisia, and the shot comes in. Oh, and it is 5. Oh my goodness me, they're having a field day, Belgium. And it's a really landmark goal as well, because it's Nicolas Raskin scoring just his 2nd for his country. Popped up with one in a 6-0 win against Kazakhstan in World Cup qualifying back in September. And the Rangers man has completed the route here. Lovely, lovely goal. Good finish. And Tunisia, well, it's a really, really sorry sight for them and their fans. It was a superb cross from the right from Moreira with his left foot initially. The ball was nodded down back into the danger zone from the far edge of the 6-yard box. And when the ball broke to Raskin, he just came onto it on the edge of the penalty area. It was bouncing, and he's drilled it low with his right foot, and it's nestled in the far left-hand corner. Shamak diving away to his right, but couldn't get anywhere near it. And this is a really, really impressive workout now, isn't it, you have to say, for Belgium, as Lukaku tries to chest the ball down that's pinged up to him, but stopped in his tracks by the offside flag. He's wearing the captain's armband now, incidentally, Romelu Lukaku, after De Bruyne went off. So we're into the final 2 minutes of normal time now, as Moreira takes a throw-in level with the edge of his own penalty area, gets it back from Ngoy, and then starts to eat up the ground as Diego Moreira. Surging forward now, the Strasbourg man. Here's Van Aken inside the centre circle. Nice little clipped pass over to the left-hand side to De Kuyper. De Kuyper Slides a pass into the box to Fernandez Pardo. His little cutback is hacked away there by Skiri. And the ball's going to bounce out of play for a Belgium throw-in, which De Kauper takes quickly. Here's Mekele finding Ngoy. Van Aken just seeing his pass just bounce favourably for Fernandez Pardo, who's into the box. Lays a pass into Lukaku. Lukaku's right-footed shot is blocked. Ball's going to bounce kindly here, though, for Luca Bacchio. Gathers it in on the right-hand side. Stands his man up. Fizzes in a low cross. That's volleyed up. Not entirely away by Rekic. Good strength shown there by De Kauper to hold off Tunekti and keep the ball moving for Belgium. And here's Mekele now. Into the final 20 seconds or so of normal time. Belgium already with 5 goals in their back pocket, pushing for more as Moreira tries to slide a pass into Witsel, who was making a run in behind the Tunisia rear guard, but he's just overcooked that as Diego Moreira. And the ball going out of play for a Tunisia goal kick. So good afternoon's work for Rudy Garcia and his men. The team ranked 9th in the world according to FIFA. They go into the World Cup and really find Vettel here as Raskin, scorer of the 5th goal, gathers it in and finds a pass to Luca Bacchio, the scorer of the 4th goal. Luca Bacchio comes inside onto the left foot again and shoots from the corner of the penalty area. All deflected away and behind for another corner kick to Belgium. There's 3 additional minutes at the end of this game. We've played about 40 seconds of that already as Belgium prepare to take their latest corner, which Luca Bacchio has taken short. He's got it back, but unfortunately, according to the assistant referee over there, he was in an offside position when he received it. Certainly shouldn't have been. That's a bit of a sloppy one from Dodi Luca Bacchio. I'm actually sure he was, in fairness, having seen the replays, but not that it matters at this point, with the game long since done and dusted as a contest. As Shamak now launches his goal kick, or the free kick I should say, long. Moreira wins the header and sends it back into the Tunisia half. It's volleyed clear and nodded on to Shawa, who I think was possibly just offside, was he? Yeah, I think he was. The assistant referee's flag has gone up. So Belgium, they look to just see this one out now, have a free kick, which Raskin takes to Ngoy. Luca Bacchio finds Witsel. Now Van Aken, moving it on to Ngoy. Luca Bacchio plays it to his right to Moreira. Moreira again going on the outside, low right-footed cross. It's cleared away, only partially though. Moreira fighting to win it back, does eventually lose out. Tunisia look to get the ball up the pitch. It's kind of an anywhere will do feel for them now. And at the moment it is still coming back from Belgium as De Kauper finds Van Aken. Here's Moreira once again, 20 yards from goal, over on the right-hand side. Raskin thought about the cross, but instead finds Moreira. Moreira's given the ball away, and now coming away for Tunisia is Shawa. Moreira working hard to win the ball back, and he's fouled Firas Shawa. I think he's going to go into the book as well for his troubles is Diego Moreira. It's a pretty cynical one from him. I think he was just frustrated that he lost the ball in the first place. As he chased back, just grabbed a whole fistful of Firas Shawa's shirt. And Tunisia take the free kick. Looking to just hold on to it now as we approach the final whistle. And that is full time on what has been a really, really encouraging afternoon's work for Rudy Garcia and his Belgium side. The first half was a bit of a slow burner in some respects. Belgium certainly enjoying the lion's share of possession and territory, having a couple of chances to take the lead through Kevin De Bruyne before Leandro Trossard eventually did open the scoring, stabbing home from 6 yards after excellent work from Jeremy Doku down the left-hand side, who was a real thorn in the Tunisia side all afternoon, it has to be said. They had good chances to double their lead before the interval, did Belgium. One in particular from Brandon Mekele that he headed wide, and you would have expected him to score. But at 1-0 at the interval, it was still all to play for. That was until Charles de Kettelere, who had been pretty anonymous prior to that, popped up 8 minutes into the second half to steer an expert header into the back of the net after a lovely cross from the left-hand side by Yuri Tielemans. At that point, Tunisia had it all to do, really, and things got worse for them as well when Kevin De Bruyne rubbed salt into the wound of Ismail Gabi being shown a second yellow card just a couple of minutes later. De Bruyne fizzing in a superb strike from just outside the penalty area into the bottom corner to make it 3-0. And then from there, as ever with the friendlies, there was a raft of substitutions, but it was two of the replacements who came up trumps for Belgium in the dying stages. Firstly, Dodi Lukebakio scoring with an acrobatic finish after good play over on the right-hand side from Moreira, and then latterly Matthias Fernandez Pardo, who just nodded the ball down into the danger zone. And then completing the rout at the death was the Rangers man, Nicolas Raskin, with his second goal for the Red Devils, making it a very, very satisfactory afternoon's work for the 2018 semi-finalists. So, they will get their send-off now from the adoring crowd at the King Baudouin Stadium in Brussels before boarding a plane and heading west to North America. Their campaign starting on the 15th of June against Egypt, and with Iran and New Zealand to come, they'll certainly be backing themselves to get out of the group at the very least, unlike in Qatar 4 years ago. Maybe they can just go deep in the tournament and get towards the latter stages. As for Tunisia, well, it's been a pretty damaging afternoon for them. A bit of a reality check for their new manager Sabri Lamouchi as well. Conceding 5 goals in this way, having come through qualifying without conceding any at all, be a pretty bitter pill to swallow for them. They too head out to North America now, where they also begin their campaign on the 15th of June against Sweden. But I can tell you now, if they defend the way they did today, Victor Gyökeres and Alexander Isak will be rubbing their hands with glee, that's for sure. Remains to be seen if the Eagles of Carthage can get themselves out of a World Cup group for the first time ever, at the 7th time of asking. As well as the game against Sweden, they'll have to try and navigate their way past the Netherlands and Japan too. But as I say, a pretty chastening experience this afternoon for them in Brussels, because it's all over. It's finished. Belgium 5, Tunisia 0. I've been Chris Bryant. Thanks very much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed our coverage as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you.